This is the Realme 6 and this is the 6i.
No.
Oh wait, so this is the Realme 6 and this is the 6i. Okay, so these phones look really similar, so it can be kinda confusing. But what's changed from the 6 to the 6i? Let's unbox it and find out. Hey guys, Amurtha here from C4eTech, and if you do end up finding this video entertaining, then please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications by hitting the bell icon. Let's now get started. The 6i comes in the same old yellow Realme box. Name of the phone in the center, branding down the bottom, specs highlights to the back. Our device comes in the Eclipse black color. There's even more branding to the sides, and at the bottom we have more info about the price, including the listed price, which is 14,999. That being said, we expect Realme to price this one cheaper. Anyway, time now to cut through the seals and open this box. First thing inside is the yellow insert. It's got the SIM ejector pin, a soft silicone case, and the Realme safety and quick start guide. Putting them aside for now, let's take a peek at the phone itself. Taking off the protective plastic wrap and peeling off the sticker from the back. This is the Realme 6i. It's got a glossy black panel. Let's quickly put it into the case before we cover it up with smudges and fingerprints. Putting that aside, let's take a look at the other box contents. We have a 30-watt charger in here, although Flipkart mentions that the box charger for the retail units would be 20 watts. More on this later. The final box content is the Type-C cable. Now, as we mentioned before, the Realme 6i looks identical to the Realme 6. From the camera bump on the back down to the button placements on the sides. These two phones are like mirror images of each other. Internally though, there are a few changes, the biggest of them being the primary camera. It's now 48 megapixel instead of 64. So how does that affect the picture quality? Well, side by side, we can see that the Realme 6 has the more punchier colors. That being said, the 6i actually does better in terms of dynamic range, especially when it comes to retaining details from the shadows. As far as overall sharpness goes, the default 12 and 16 megapixel snaps both appear equally crispy, but we do see a bit more detail when switching over to the 64 and 48 megapixel photos, like for instance in the mask here. Overall though, this 48 megapixel snapper takes some good looking daylight shots. We have the same f1.8 aperture lens which offers some good natural bokeh, and all the usual options like chroma boost are present and accounted for. Taking a look at the low light samples next, I was actually surprised to find the night mode on the Realme 6i outperforming the Realme 6. The pictures taken by the 6i are brighter and have more details. They're also free from the green tinge and heavy noise that seems to plague many of the night mode shots taken by the Realme 6. Other than the primary snapper though, the three other cameras starting from the 8 megapixel ultra wide, the 2 megapixel macro, and finally the 2 megapixel depth sensor, these are all similar to what we find on the Realme 6. Even the front selfie snapper is the same 16 megapixel camera from the Realme 6. Now, while the primary optics was the biggest change, there are a couple more subtle changes here with the 6i. First off, we have the color. The Realme 6 is available in two variants, Comet Blue and Comet White. The 6i, on the other hand, comes in this Eclipse Black that we have here and a Lunar White option. Realme has also fixed one more major complaint that people had with the Realme 6. This is still a 6.5-inch IPS LCD screen like we had with the Realme 6, but now it gets a lot brighter, which makes it easier to use the phone outdoors. The resolution is still Full HD+, and we even have the 90Hz refresh rate option, which should make this one of the best gaming displays in the sub 15K category. The processor though has remained unchanged. It's still a MediaTek G90T, and that means we should get fast, snappy performance across the board. We tried out a few games on the Realme 6i, including some that support higher refresh rates, and the overall experience was pretty good. Now, on the memory side of things, we have 4 or 6 gigs of LPDDR4X RAM that's combined with 64 gigs of UFS 2.1 storage. That being said, we do have a dedicated microSD card slot for future expansion. The battery capacity too is the same, 4300 mAh. The only change is that Realme is including a 20-watt fast charger in the box here. The 6i still has support for the same 30-watt fast charging as the Realme 6 did, but instead of that being included in the box, it now has to be purchased separately. That being said, the 20-watt charger is no slouch either. It can get the Realme 6i from 0 to 100 in an hour and 17 minutes. As for the 30-watt charger, it can do the same in 55 minutes, saving us around 22 minutes. So these are all the new changes that the Realme 6i brings to the table. Of course, one thing that we didn't mention is the software. Like every Realme phone out there, the 6i too runs on Realme UI based on Android 10. So features like dark mode, smart sidebar and dual mode audio are all present and accounted for. As for the biometrics, both the side-mounted fingerprint scanner and face unlock are quite fast and snappy. So I know I kind of glossed over most of the similarities between these two phones. That's cause we have a number of videos on the Realme 6, including a full review where we delve into the details of this hardware. So if you're interested, here's a card. Do check out our full Realme 6 playlist. As for the rest, I hope you guys enjoyed the quick rundown. Now, with such similar hardware, a lot depends on how Realme decides to price the 6i. As of shooting this video, we have no official confirmation of the price, but based on the spec sheet, I'm guessing that the 6i should be a bit cheaper than the Realme 6. Considering that the base variant of the Realme 6 comes in at 15,000 rupees, what do you think would be the ideal price for the Realme 6i? Also, what do you guys think of this new trend of launching similar phones with slightly modified hardware? Poco did it with their Poco M2 Pro, and now Realme has done it with the Realme 6i. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And with that, we come to the end of this video. Like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot for watching till the end, guys. Have a good one. Cheers.